They have 4 Oilers on the Canadian roster. Obviously, McDavid. They've got Bouchard on there, and then they included Zach Hyman and Stuart Skinner in this lineup. Hire it or fire it. All 4 of those guys will be on this Four Nations Faceoff Canadian team.
I'm going to hire it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, you got guys that went to going to the finals helps a lot. I think there's a few lock. Obviously, McDavid's a lock. I think Hyman's a lock. The biggest question mark I would think would be Bouchard of that 4,
Mm-hmm.
but with a specialist like that on the power play, and who knows, there's going to be 2 units. Maybe he doesn't play with McDavid, but I think just because of what he was able to accomplish in the playoffs, for sure. And how do you not have Stuart Skinner? He's one of the best goalies in the NHL.
It's crazy to say that, isn't it? Considering how much heat there was on him, and we try to remind people he's only in his second year, but he's kind of solidified himself into that upper echelon, it feels like.
Yeah, offensively. Yeah. I got to hire 2 guys. Hyman would be the only one where I'm kind of like unsure a little bit. Like there's some uncertainty about it. But it's pretty hard to argue with the number of goals he scored last season. Yeah. So it's going to be pretty hard to keep him off there. So I got to hire it because I think it does happen. Bouchard, I think he's going to be in there. McDavid, obviously. Yeah. Skinner, you don't have a ton of choices. Goaltending is the one area in Canada where you're like, there's not a ton of different options. And I think Stuart Skinner, with recency bias and taking a team to the Cup final and taking him to 7 games, I think he will be on that roster too. So yeah, I gotta hire it, fellas.
I'm gonna hire it too. I'm with you, boys. Those guys, some of the best in the game right now, and it's crazy what a Stanley Cup final run will do. It changes perceptions, doesn't it, about certain players and certain teams when you get to that last dance, even though they didn't win it. But it changes the way people as a whole look at some players, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I always bug him, but look at Jason Strudwick's career. If he doesn't go to 18 Memorial Cups, he's probably, selling Slurpees at the Circle K right now.
And throwing candies in them. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Just really quickly for reference, this is the projected lineup from NHL.com for Canada at the Four Nations Faceoff. Barzal, Bedard, Crosby, Hyman, Alexis Lafreniere, McKinnon, Marchand, Marner, McDavid, Point, Reinhart, Sam, Stamkos, and Robert Thomas out of the Blues. On defense, Evan Bouchard, Noah Dobson, Drew Doughty, Cale Makar, Josh Morrissey, Owen Power, Devon Taves. That blue line is sick.
It's a pretty stacked blue line.
That is sick. Goalies, Binnington, Hill, and Skinner.